The Houston Aeros with a record, Jerry, through this season. They have themselves in third place in the World Hockey Association with 35 wins, 30 losses, and 4 ties on the year. But they need to pick that up somewhat, and they are not going to get that opportunity here tonight because this is, as you said, an exhibition game. Referee ready at center ice. The Finnish referee will be calling the game here tonight, and Ron Foyt and Dave Madsen will be the other officials. Let's go to center ice, Mr. Trupiano, and play-by-play.
Thank you, Jack. Andre Lacroix will face off against Koskinen, the Finnish centerman, and now the game is underway. The Aeros get the draw. Thank goodness to Al McLeod, to John Hughes, now to Rich Preston. Going in after it, Koskinen tips it in on the end boards in his own zone. Back after it, Saarinen, the defenseman, up on left wing. He cleared it to center ice. Al McLeod has it for the Aeros, but he hands it away to Pekka Laine. Now it's taken away by Andre Lacroix. In center ice, around Laine. It's knocked away now by Koskinen. Here's a pass in for Preston, tipped away at the blue line by Eloranta. Now going back to get the puck for the Aeros is Rich Preston. Preston on left wing to Andre Lacroix, tied up in the center ice zone by Eloranta. Now Lacroix dumps it back in his own zone for John Hughes. After him there is Arto Jokinen. Now it comes around on right wing for Don Laraway, losing it in his own zone. Now the puck taken by Laraway again on left wing now to Rich Preston. And here come the Aeros out with it. Preston down left wing to Don Laraway. Laraway moving in against Eloranta, going in deep. He stops now to make a play. Centers it, Preston, deflection. Save made by the goaltender. Rebound Lacroix. Centering it for Laraway. A shot! And he fired it wide as he had the goaltender Solman at his mercy. And now the puck is iced by the Finns. Arto Jokinen clearing it down the length of the ice, and the Aeros go back to touch it. The Finns are called for icing. We've played a minute 11 of the first period. There is no score.
Laraway with that shot in the slot area, Jerry, and over behind that Aeros bench, Wayne Rutledge. Laraway letting that slap shot go. Really, he was close enough. He could have maybe used the wrist shot, but he shot one pretty accurately, hitting the post. Maybe a good game for Laraway to get himself on track, get a little more ice time.
From the right point, a shot by Campbell went wide of the goal. Back to get it for the Finns is Juha Tuhima. Tuhima fails to clear it. The Aeros get it to Ruskowski. Right point, Scott Campbell shooting. Knocked away by the goaltender, Solman. John Gray's pulled down on the play, and play moves right on, and here come the Finns out in center ice. It's cleared into the Houston zone by Kamarinen. Going back after it for the Aeros, Scott Campbell on left wing to Larry Hale. Hale ahead for Captain Terry Ruskowski, losing it in center ice to Juha Tuahima. Sounds like he's from Hawaii. I know I'm mispronouncing that name. He clears it on right wing for Rutsalanen. Rutsalanen out in center ice for Tuahima. It's taken away by Scott Campbell. Lost it now to Tuahima, moving into the Houston zone. It's centered at the point. Here's a shot wide by the defenseman Rutsalanen. Now the Aeros' Terry Ruskowski is up with it. Starts out a left wing pass to Morris Lukowicz, trying to move around the defense. He was hooked. Puck rolls in. The goaltender trying to cover up on it. Finally he does at the top of the circle to the right of his goal as he comes about 45 feet out of his net to smother that puck and hold on. The goaltender is Raleigh Solman. He's a student who plays with the Kovi club in Finland. If they're taping this game, I hope they'll burn the tapes after this one. These names are tough, aren't they?
Not for me.
Not for you, yeah.
I can just say the Finnish team, and they finished them off. And
Aeros get the draw at the right point to Shella, shooting. Save made by the goaltender Solman, and he holds on. The face-off will be in the circle to the left of the goaltender, who is, let's see, he would be 19 years old. He's just a youngster. A fairly young Finnish hockey club out there. Larry Lund is out with John Tonelli and Ron Hansis for the Aeros. The Aeros get the draw to Shella, trying to dump it to the corner. It's knocked away by Tamio. Tamio along the near boards now for Finland. Clears it to Ahokinen. Now moving in across the Aeros line is Tameo. Tameo trying to make a play, centers it along the near boards. Here is Sinsalo. Sinsalo losing it to John Tonelli for the Aeros, out at the blue line for Larry Lund. Left wing pass to John Tonelli in center ice. Breaking into the Finnish zone. Tonelli across the line is bumped along the boards by Pakola. Now Tonelli digging for that puck on the end boards, has it. He has it knocked away now by Ahokinen. Now here's Ron Hansis with it for the Aeros. He takes the hit as the Finns start to throw their weight around. It's cleared down the ice, and here's a race. Paul Popio against the Finnish player Sinsalo. They tie it up in the near corner in the Houston zone and hold it, and play is called. Face-off will be to the right of Ernie Wakely.
One
the
advantage.
Finns are making a quick change here.
One advantage Popiel has, of course, coming from Denmark and speaking Danish. The languages are quite similar. I'm sure he'll be doing a little chatting out there as the game goes along. Not necessarily on a friendly basis, but at least has the ability to communicate. A lot of the Swedes and Finns can speak English, though, Jerry, more so than the Czechs and the Russian teams.
Here comes John Hughes for the Aeros. A pass to Ted Taylor, moving in with Terry Ruskowski on right wing, and Ruskowski was offside for the Aeros. 16:39 remaining in the first period. There's no score. We're going to have plenty of time tonight to chat about the season for the Houston Aeros. Jack, we mentioned it's just an exhibition game, and I don't think we have to be that close to the play-by-play calls. Maybe it might be good to recap the season for the Aeros, talk over the situation with the playoffs coming up, and see how the Aeros might make out what's happened and transpired in the World Hockey Association, so we might get a chance to do that tonight. Ole Saarinen on that Finnish defense.
Just because you can't call these names, all of a sudden you're changing the broadcast.
Here comes Taylor for the Aeros, moving into the Finnish zone. Now to Steve West, to Terry Ruskowski. Ruskowski trying to center it for West, and he missed the pass. Goes along the far boards in the Finnish zone. On the end boards for Ruskowski. It's intercepted there by Koskinen, who clears it out at center ice. And here comes Pekka Laine. Laine, a shot. That goes wide of the Aeros goal. Laine after the rebound. He's tied up by Al McLeod, and here's Terry Ruskowski missing a check by Koskinen. Ruskowski with that puck, trying to move out, hands it away to Koskinen, who lost it. Now it rolls to center. Coming up with it, Ole Saarinen on right wing to Kari Eloranta. Eloranta on left wing to Saarinen. Saarinen moving into the Houston zone. A slap shot knocked away by Ernie Wakely on the far boards. Here's Taylor moving in after it. Now the puck is taken away by Koskinen. It comes back to the right point for Eloranta. Shooting blocked at the defense by John Hughes. Aeros clear it to Terry Ruskowski. Now to Ted Taylor. Taylor lead pass for Steve West moving into the Finnish zone. It's taken away there by Saarinen. He centers it in front of his own goal. Picked up there by Eloranta. Eloranta starting back of his own goal. Starting out on the right wing. Hooked by Taylor, who's going to get a penalty. Delayed penalty coming up against the Aeros in center ice. The Finns moving in across the Houston line. That was Lane. It's picked up now by Houston, and play is called. And Taylor is going to go off for hooking at the 4:48 mark of the first period. And we'll take a look at the Finnish power play here.
This is a finished power play. It's either finished, or finish.
You get yourself out of this one. Don't look at me. The coach of the Finnish All-Stars is Kai Roswall. They have the man advantage now. Face off to the left of Ernie Wakely as Taylor goes off for hooking at 4:48. The Finns get the draw. Here's a shot from the point by Rutsalainen, stopped by the Aeros goalie Ernie Wakely. The Aeros clear it to center ice for Andre Lacroix. Here's Lacroix in center ice. On left wing now to Preston. It's tipped away. Picking it up is Saliva. Saliva, the captain of the Finnish All-Stars, takes it back into his own zone, passing on left wing now for Tuhima. Tuhima on right wing.
Passing Tuhima.
Rutsalainen in on left wing now to Kimalainen. Kimalainen, a shot off the left wing, stopped by Wakely. And here's Scott Campbell trying to clear it. Hits Andre Lacroix, who moves the center down left wing. He's tied up on the play. Kamarinen checking Lacroix. Now Lacroix got it to Preston, moving into that Finnish zone. He lost it. And back come the Finns, led by Tuhima. In on left wing in that Houston zone. It's Kamalinen at the right point. A shot! That goes wide as Rutsalainen let it fly. Now at the left point. Here's Tuhima centering it. Along the left wing boards, now comes back at the point, intercepted by Lacroix. The Aeros start to center ice. Andre Lacroix trying to force it through for Rich Preston. It's taken away by the Finnish player, Rutsalainen. He got it now to Tuhima. Tuhima moves down left wing and center ice. The Finns on the power play. Here's a pass on left wing to Ohaikinen. Ohaikinen going in deep in that Houston zone, trying to make a play. On the far boards, Ohaikinen looking to get it now to a teammate. Ohaikinen still with that puck at the right point. Back to Ohaikinen. In on the inboards now in that Houston zone. Here's Sinsalo. Ohaikinen at the right point for Rutsalainen. A shot. That's blocked in front. Aeros try to clear it. Preston can't dig it out of there. Now Preston up with it again on left wing and center ice to Andre Lacroix. He steps into a Finnish player. 8 seconds left in that penalty to Taylor, and here come the Finns again. Rutsalainen in center ice. A pass for a teammate tipped away. Now it's stolen. Tuhima In on his backhand, centering it in front. Terry Ruskowski came from nowhere to break it up as Ted Taylor steps back on. Here's Ruskowski moving to center ice. Down right wing for the Aeros. Ruskowski moving in against Tohima. Knocks him flying. The puck is picked up by the Finns. They clear it to center ice. Along the near boards, Heikkinen. He's checked. It's picked up by the Finns. Tamio. Tamio scores! Moving in on left wing. What a shot goal. Ernie Wakely went down the glove it, but it was lower than he anticipated. It may have dropped. Goes in between the legs of Wakely to give the Finns a 1-0 lead as Tomi Tamio scores the goal.
That puck seemed to drop some on Wakely as he was taking it with the glove. It looked like he had good control over it, and the Finnish team goes ahead by a score of 1-0. They kind of lulled us to sleep out there on that one because there really wasn't anything that effective until that shot.
Here's Shella for the Aeros, who trail 1-0 on left wing to John Tonelli. Now here is Popiel to Shella out in center ice for Larry Lund, runs into his own man. Lund flips it down into the Finnish zone. Back to get it there is Saarinen. Saarinen fails to clear it. On the end boards after it is Koskinen in his own zone trying to clear it. Picked up now by the Finns. Starting out Arto Jokinen in center ice. He's hammered by Paul Popiel. And here's Ron Hensis with it. Right wing pass for Shella. Ahead in center ice for Larry Lund. It was off the target. It's picked up by Saarinen. Ole Saarinen on right wing to Kari Eloranta. Eloranta moving through center ice. Dumps it into the Houston zone. Wakely out of that goal. Steers it on the near wing. Going in deep after it is Pekka Laine. Laine got it to Koskinen. He's checked along the boards by Shella. It's centered in front. A shot. They score! Arto Jokinen makes it 2-0. A pretty passing play there, and the Finns lead 2-0.
Yeah, and the Finnish delegation across the way, Jerry, spirited. The Aeros are digging themselves a hole. They better wake up. Maybe that may be the term right now. They really have sort of played a pace. They've got to put the pressure on, I think. You can't just free skate. You've got to get and put a little pressure on. They did early a little bit, but since the penalty, they've sort of let the Finns take control.
2-0 lead for the Finnish All-Stars, and here they come again. Down left wing into the Houston zone. Kimalainen. He was checked. Up with it for the Finns now. Taking a hit is Soliva. The Aeros starting back. Lukowicz on right wing, moving into that Finnish zone. Dumps it in on the end boards. John Gray going in after it. Gray for the Aeros takes a hit along the boards. Now trying to make a play. Got it to Lukowicz in the near corner. Lukowicz for the Aeros looking to make a play on the end boards. Checked by Soliva. Now it's picked up by Tuhima. Tuhima circling in his own zone. Almost lost it in front of his own goal. Chased around the net by Terry Ruskowski. Here's Tuhima on right wing now to Joko Kamarinen in center ice. Kamarinen, long shot wide of the Aeros goal. Back to get it, John Hughes. Hughes starting back on left wing for Houston. The Aeros down 2-0. Now to Lukowicz. He moves around one man but lost the puck. Lukowicz chased back inside his own line. Lukowicz almost lost it. Now he does lose it. John Hughes goes back to check a Finnish player. Aeros being bottled up right now. Here's Soliva, the Finnish captain, centering it. John Gray checks a man. It comes outside the blue line. Picking it up for the Finns, Pertti Leitonen. Now the Aeros' Al McLeod steals it, moves in on left wing, has a man open in front, couldn't get it to him. Now a pass for Lukowicz. Drop pass taken away by the Finns, and here they come. Soliva on right wing to Sinsalo. A shot, he scores! Or was that Soliva? We'll have to wait. 3-0 for the Finns. And from the summit, this is Houston Aeros hockey. Finns have taken a 3-0 lead here. Sinsalo got the goal, as we called it. And the Finns lead the Aeros 3-0, and the Aeros are getting a bit frustrated here, as Scott Campbell has a word with a Finnish player. I don't know if neither of them understood each other, but Ilkka Sinsalo, that last goal. 3-0 for the Finns. And now the Aeros give it away in center ice to Lane. Lane moving into the Houston zone. A shot goes wide. Wakely comes out to steer it on right wing to Don Laraway. Laraway for the Aeros losing it. Now the puck is taken by Lane on the end boards in the Aero zone. Here's Lane on the far wing. Dumps it back at the point, but Eloranta, the defenseman, had retreated to center. Passing on left wing now to Saarinen. Long shot in. Wakely steers it aside, and here's Larry Hale for the Aeros on left wing to Rich Preston. Preston on right wing now to Don Laraway. The Aeros down by 3 as Laraway dumps it into the Finnish zone. In and after it, Lacroix trying to make a play. He's checked. Now Saarinen takes Lacroix to the corner. The puck is held. Now it comes loose. Preston fighting for it. Here comes Eiloranta for the Finns. They lead 3-0 in center ice. A right wing pass. Lead pass for Arto Jokinen. He has scored a goal here tonight. Can't get to it. Larry Hale passing to Don Laraway. He lost it. Here's Laine moving right in, and Scott Campbell knocked him almost back to Finland with a stiff check. Here is Don Laraway for the Aeros. On left wing to Rich Preston. Out in center ice to Larry Hale. Lead pass on right wing to Scott Campbell. Breaking in across the line. In on goal. Campbell couldn't get a shot as he was checked. The puck was cleared away, and it's rolling down the ice as the Finns ice it again, going back to touch it Larry Hale. And the Finnish All-Stars are called for icing. Not much going right now for the Houston Aeros.
Well, that might be a perfect description, Jerry. The Finns have really capitalized on 3 opportunities, and it's not been that active a game at either end of the ice. It's sort of been a slow first period, but you know, the Aeros cannot. They've got a lot of pride. They've got to come back in this hockey game and show, because they're as you watch out there, I think, a better hockey club.
Here's West in front to score. Ted Taylor, a fine centering pass to Steve West. He was stopped in his first try by goaltender Wally Solman. And then West got his own rebound back, and with Solman down and out, popped it into the net to cut the Finnish lead to 3-1.
Well, I think it's good for the Aeros to get one on the board, because that's going to, I think, affect their attitude. They were, as you said, getting a little frustrated, and you know what happens when they playing against an unknown commodity there. If they get frustrated, they start taking penalties, and that indirectly will, or you might even say directly, hurts them an awful lot.
Taylor and Popiel the assist on the goal. The Aeros cut the Finnish lead to 3-1. They call that one offside as the Aeros move into the Finnish zone. We won't have any final scores to report from around the league tonight, Jack, because the other games are starting later than this one. This one is 6 o'clock start, actually underway around 6:10 or so, but some important games being played in the WHA tonight. Here's a pass in on left wing for Taylor, and they call that offside with Lukowicz in ahead of the play on right wing. It's just that little lack of concentration there that can cost you in a hockey game. Those are the little things that drive a coach crazy.
Nice little backhand pass there to Teddy Taylor. Taylor was fine as far as being onside, but apparently on that right side, Lukowicz had just jumped in a little bit too quick.
You're listening to Aeros Hockey on KTRH in Houston. Here's Lukowicz right in, a shot, save, rebound, a shot, they score! Lukowicz! That cuts the Finns lead to 3-2. Well, Mr. Lukowicz amended himself there. He scores the goal after missing a great chance for the Aeros before by being offside. And Lukowicz came in after another nice pass by Steve West to cut the Finnish lead to 3-2. Almost the exact same play, Jack, as the Aeros score on their own rebound.
Rebound play there, and that's the difference. A little sharpness shown by both the Aeros players in picking up their own rebound, and that's not all that easy in this game of hockey, because that puck comes back awfully quickly, but right onto the stick, and all of a sudden it's a 3-2 hockey game. That looks a little bit better.
Now it's the Finns who have gone to sleep here. Koskinen in that Houston zone lost it to John Hughes. A left wing pass to Larry London. Here come the Aeros in center ice to John Tonelli. Tonelli trying to get it to Hensis. It's knocked away. Now Tonelli comes up with it again. Got it to Larry Lund moving into the Finnish zone. It's knocked away there by defenseman Saarinen. Aeros steal it. Hensis centers it. Eiloranta, the defenseman, picks it up. Tried to clear it. John Tonelli holding it in. Now the puck cleared to the blue line, but not out. Larry Lund in for John Tonelli. Tonelli to Lund in front. Couldn't get a shot. Now Eiloranta tried to clear it. John Hughes holding it in to John Tonelli. A pass for Hensis was off the target. Larry Lund on the near boards. Around one man trying to make a play. Larry Lund takes a hit along the boards. He's pushing with the Finnish player. It's cleared to center ice. Here's Laine clearing it in across the line. Took a hit by Hensis going in after John Hughes and Al McLeod. And Ron Hensis takes over for the Aeros to John Hughes. He's hit by Koskinen. Laine centers it. Here's a shot. Weakly the save. Took it high around the mask, as the puck is now cleared by Hughes on right wing in center ice to Ron Hensis. To Larry Lund pushing it into the Finnish zone, and the defenseman Saarinen just clears it out to center. Larry Lund again for the Aeros, giving it away to Saarinen. Saarinen in center ice, hands it away to Ron Hensis. Hensis runs into his own man Tonelli, retreats into his own zone. A left wing pass to John Hughes. 3-2 hockey game. The Finnish All-Stars are leading. Now the puck picked up by Saarinen inside his own line to Eiloranta on right wing, clears it out into center ice. And here comes Kimalainen. Kimalainen in on left wing to Salova. Salova centers it. Puck comes back to Kimalainen. A shot Covered up in front by Wakely, and play is called. And from the summit, this is Houston Aeros hockey. Puck is cleared down into the Finnish zone. The Finnish All-Stars leading 3-2 here in the first period at the summit. Starting out, defenseman Reiho Ruotsolainen. Now the Aeros down. Laraway tips it into the Finnish zone. It's cleared away by Tohami, the defenseman, on left wing. In center ice, here's the forward Kimalainen. Moving into the Houston zone, Larry Hale breaks it up and shoots at the center, and play is called. I don't know why the Finnish referee is calling it down.
Scott Campbell took it with his hand, and it went to Larry Hale on the left defense. But you're supposed to direct the puck. If you direct the puck with your hand, then they'll call the whistle. So I guess that was his decision.
Here's Preston in his own zone for the Aeros, down left wing to Andre Lacroix, trying to force it across on right wing for Laraway. It's tipped away by the forward Ohokinen. Ohokinen in his own zone trying to clear it. Scott Campbell holding it in at the right point. Campbell lets the shot go nowhere near the target at the left point. Larry Hale holds it in. On end boards for Andre Lacroix, near corner for Don Laraway. Laraway let it go to the right point for Scott Campbell. Campbell dumps it in front. It's knocked down by the Finns with a high stick. Pertti Leitonen knocking it down, and once he touched it, play was called.
Well, we've had lots of scoring here in the first period. If you're a man that likes high scoring, it's 3-2. The Finns ahead by 1. Tamio scoring. Jalkinen, and then
Sinsalo,
then Weston Lukowicz for the Aeros.
Sinisalo. Let's talk about Weston Lukowicz. Those are easier. Finns leading 3-2. Face off at the top of the circle to the left of goaltender Wally Solman. Aeros get the draw and poke it towards the goal. It's taken away by the defenseman Saarinen. He tried to clear it. Get it on right wing now to Jokinen. Jokinen in center ice to Koskinen. Moving in, a shot blocked by Shella. It rolls to the corner now, and here's Paul Popiel. Popiel to Shella on the end boards in his own zone. Around on left wing to Morris Lukowicz. He just cleared it out at center ice, and A. Laranta has it there on left wing to Saarinen, back in his own zone on right wing to A. Laranta. Now here's Koskinen, the center, moving through the neutral zone, clearing it in on goal. Wakely the stop, going back after it, John Shella for the Aeros. He's checked by Koskinen. The puck comes along the near boards, and here's Ruskowski on at center ice for Lukowicz, moving around A. Laranta in across the line. Lukowicz forcing himself in on goal. A shot, put it wide on the far side. Now Tohami clearing it out in center ice. Took a hit by Lukowicz. It's cleared ahead for Lane. Lane, a shot going wide of the Aeros goal. Back after it for the Aeros, John Shella. Shella checked along the boards by Koskinen. Lane after it. The Aeros Shella got it to Paul Popiel. On right wing to Captain Terry Ruskowski. Long lead pass for Lukowicz on left wing. In across the line in the clear. Lukowicz, a slap shot knocked away by the goaltender Solman. Ruskowski the rebound. In the corner for Gray. Gray trying to center it. On the end boards, dumps it in front. It's covered up by the goaltender, and play is called. And from the summit, this is Houston Aeros hockey. In center ice for Finland, Kamarinen clears it into Soliva. Soliva in front, lost the puck, knocked away by McLeod. The Aeros' Rich Preston has it. He tries to clear it, hands it away now. It's centered, taken away by Taylor, and back come the Aeros to Steve West. One man back, moving in around the defense. West in on goal, shoots, he scores! Steve West ties it for the Aeros at 3-3. What a first period this Steve West has had. The Aeros spotted the Finns a 3-0 lead and then fought back to tie it at 3-3.
I have to laugh, you know. Stevie West puts that head straight in the air. It was a beautiful move at center ice to beat the defenseman as he went down. And Westy went in, pulled it on the backhand, and put it real high over the goaltender. In fact, he caught the crossbar, so it's been quite a comeback for the Aeros. That hand straight in the air, Stevie West. And the other guys on the Aeros squad getting their sticks up straight in the air. A little bit of humor there by the Aeros players.
West gets his second goal of the night, and it ties the hockey game at 3-3. Teddy Taylor gets an assist. I thought they might give one to Al McLeod as well. We'll have to wait and see. Now the puck is picked up by the Finns in center ice. Here is Ahokinen. Ahokinen now on right wing to Tamio. Tamio clears it into the Houston zone. Defenseman John Hughes goes back to get it. Here's Hughes chased around his own goal. On right wing now to Rich Preston. Preston tried to clear it. It's held in by the Finns. Up with it. Finnish player Tamio trying to center it. The Aeros take it away, lose it now to Leitonen. They towed in the shot, stopped by the Aeros goaltender Wakely, and here's Al McLeod on right wing to John Hughes. Out in center ice to Rich Preston. 3-3 game. Preston lead pass for Taylor, moving in on the left side. Preston got that pass to Taylor. Here's the pass now to John Hughes at the right point. Shooting! Oh, and the goaltender just steered it away. West trying to make a play at the right point. To John Hughes, a shot off the target on the short side. Left point, Al McLeod shooting. Deflected. Save made by Solman, the goaltender. Aeros with the pressure on. Here's Preston. He's pulled down on the play. Play moves right on. Now they freeze the puck and play is called, and the fans thought there should have been a penalty, and the Finnish referee says no.
You know, what's the Finnish referee got in his back there?
I was just trying to figure that out. It says PAX, and I don't know the Finnish alphabet.
That's PAX. I don't know. It doesn't matter what alphabet. I mean, as far as I can say, that's PAX, isn't it?
Yeah, it may mean something else in Finland. Here's the Aeros getting the draw to Larry Hale. A shot stopped by the goaltender Solman. He's had a busy time here in the last few minutes.
What does PAX mean in English? Tell me.
In Latin, I think it means peace, doesn't it? I have to get back my Latin courses in school.
I've heard of a six-packs.
Here's Tonelli moving into the Finnish zone. He's trying to make a play. They give it away to Lane. We're going to call him Lane. The heck with him. Long shot in now off the right wing by Arto Jokinen. Aeros goaltender stops it. Now the puck taken on the end boards. Fought for it. It's taken by Larry Lund to the Aeros, starting back on left wing. He lifts it high in the air to center ice. Going back the defenseman, Kari Eloranta. Eloranta cutting back of his own goal for Finland. They've got to be a little boggled as far as their mental approach to the game right now. They led 3-0, and now they're tied 3-3. Eloranta clears it into the Houston zone. Wakely stopped it, has trouble with it, covers up on it now, and play is called. And from the summit, this is Houston Aeros hockey. Rich Preston for the Aeros in this first period. It's 3-3. The Aeros get it to Shella on right wing to Laraway. Laraway lost it to Kimalainen. Now Shella takes it away for the Aeros on left wing to Rich Preston. He couldn't get to the puck. It rolls to center. After it there for the Finns is Juha Tuohima. Now it's cleared to center ice. Just pick a pronunciation, folks. If you find one you like, just keep that one. Huh? Now it's going to Tima Tuohima, cleared to center. Down left wing, fakes a shot, moving into the Houston zone, through to the fence, but it's called on the offside as the big defenseman Juha Tuohima made a little fancy move with the Houston blue line and put his team in offside. They can't pronounce his name either. Now Stanfield's going to try it with a poor boy sandwich in his mouth.
Trooper?
Yes?
They do not have the names in the back of the sweaters like our players do, and I don't think it matters.
Check out the defenseman, Saarinen. He's got something written across his back in real small print. I don't know if it's an advertisement for a restaurant in Finland or what, but
not going to do him a lot of good.
It's not going to, yeah. Aeros clear it back into the Finnish zone. Less than a minute to play in the first period, thank goodness. As back to get it, it's John Shella for the Aeros. Moving in across the Finnish line on right wing to Laraway. He tried to center it, got it to Shella on the near boards. Shella trying to make a play. He's knocked off the puck. Now Shella working over a Finnish player, Tamio. Going to be a penalty to Shella. Tamio moving into the Houston zone on left wing. Centers it. Paul Popiel missed it. Now it's picked up by the Finns. Centered in front for Ahokanen. Ahokanen couldn't get a shot along the far boards. Delayed penalty here against the Aeros. It's centered. Comes over on the near side for Sinsalo. Sinsalo lost it to Laraway and play is called, and John Shella is going to get the gate here. As John snapped in the first period, took a penalty here. Laid the lumber on pretty good. A slashing call at 19:31 of the first period.
This referee packs a lot of authority out there.
Now look at the defenseman. The fans in the radio audience, of course, cannot see it.
Looks like Japanese to me.
It's all Greek to me.
I don't know what advantage there'd be to have a name on that small. Do you?
No, it sounds like something, or looks like something Harold Ballard would
Maybe the
pull.
rinks are a little bit smaller there, and you can.
Maybe they use bifocal glass. They use bifocal glass around the rink.
Oh, you mean
or up? You know, the glass they make eyeglasses out of. Magnifies things. Aeros get the draw in their own zone. They're a man short as Shella's in the penalty box for slashing. Ruskowski got it to Al McLeod. And the Aeros cleared out for Terry Ruskowski. Here's Ruskowski in center ice, moving in with Larry Lund across the finish line. I didn't think you guys would catch that. 10 seconds to go here in the first period.
A delayed play.
Vince cleared to center ice. Going back is John Tonelli for the Aeros. Got it now to John Hughes. Puck in center ice goes to Hughes and play is called. And the first period ends with the game all tied at 3-3. The two teams skating off to the dressing room. 3-3 hockey game at the end of one period. And from the summit, this is Houston Aeros hockey.